Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, today we continue to read the book Bhagavad-Gita as it is, written by Acharya Bhaktivedanta, by His Glorious Acharya Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And today we will read verses 29, 30, and 31. So, let's start. We read half of first chapter, so it's very interesting. So let's start with the first verse, 29. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text verse 29. Translation. My woolly body is trembling, my hair is standing on end, my bow Gandhila is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning. Purport. There are two kinds of trembling on the body and two kinds of standing on the hair on end. Such phenomena occur either in a great spiritual ecstasy or out of great fear under the material conditions. There is not fear in transcendental realization. Arjuna's symptoms in this situation are out of material fear, namely loss of life. This is evident from other symptoms also. He became so im- impa- um, impatient that his famous bow Gandhira was slipping from his hand, and because his hair was burning within him, he was feeling a burning sensation of the skin. All this due to a material conception of life. Next verse, 13. Translation. And now, unable to stand here any longer, I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune, O Krishna, killed of the Kesha demon. Purport. Due to these impressions, Arjuna was unable to stay on the battlefield, and he was forgetting himself on account of his weakness of his mind. Excessive attachment for material things puts a man in such a bewildering condition of existence. Bhayam Bhitiya Bhiniveshataha Syat. Srimad Bhagavatam 11:2-37. Such fearfulness and loss of mental equilibri- equi- equilibrium take place in persons who are too affected by material conditions. Arjuna mentioned only painful reverses in the battlefield. He would not to be happy even by gaining victory over the foe. The world's Nimitani viparitani are significant. When a man sees only frustration in his expectation, he thinks, why I'm here? Everyone is interested in himself and his own welfare. No one is interested in the Supreme Self. Arjuna is showing ignorance of his real self interest by Krishna's will. One's real self interest lies in Vishnu or Krishna. The conditioned soul forgets this and therefore suffers material pains. Arjuna thought that his victory in the battle would only because of lamentation for him. And the next verse, 31, translation. I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsmen in this battle. Nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire any sub- subsequent victory, kingdom, or happiness. Purport. Without knowing that one's self-interest in is in Vishnu or Krishna, conditioned soul are touched, are attracted by bodily relationships, hoping to be happy in such situations. In such um, blind conception of life, they forget and the causes of material happiness. Arjuna appears to have even forgotten the moral codex of Kshatriya. It is said that whole kinds of men, namely the Kshatriya who died directly in front of the battlefield under Krishna's personal order, and the persons in the renounced order of life who is absolutely devoted to spiritual culture and eligible to enter into the sun globe within is so powerful and dazzling. Arjuna is rel- uh, reluctant um, is reluctant even to kill his enemies, let alone his relatives. He thinks that by killing his kinsmen, he would be no happiness in his life, and therefore he is not willing to fight, just as a person who does not feel hunger is not inclined to cook. He was no desire to do into he was now decided to go into the forest and life uh, secluded life in frustration. But as a kshatriya, he requires in a kingdom for his subsistence, sus- subsistence, because the kshatriyas cannot engage themselves in any other occupation. But Arjuna was no kingdom. Arjuna's sole opportunity for gaining a kingdom lies in fighting with his cousins and brothers and reclaiming the kingdom inherited from his father, which he does not like to do. Therefore, the considers himself fit to go to the forest to live a secular life of frustration. So On this verses, Srila Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada writes that Arjuna's fear in this situation was due to a material condition of life. Arjuna don't want to fight with his cousins and brothers, and he wanted to go to the forest and live secluded life. And Srila Prabhupada writes that was Arjuna's ignorance and his self interests. Everyone is interested in himself and his own welfare. No one is interested. No one is interested in supreme self, in the supreme self. But one's real self interests lies in Vishnu or Krishna. The conditioned soul forget about this, and therefore the suffers material pains. And Srila Prabhupada writes that Arjuna was not only self-interests, but also forgot about the moral codex of Kshatriya. He was a Kshatriya, and as a Kshatriya, he requires a kingdom for his subsistence, because the Kshatriyas cannot engage themselves in any other's occupation. And Arjuna saw an opportunity for gaining a kingdom lies in fighting with his cousins and brothers, and reclaiming the kingdom inherited from his father. But he don't like to do it, and therefore he don't like to do it because he thinks that is not good for him. But he thinks that it's don't good for him. He will suffers, because and so he and therefore he considered himself fit to go to the forest to live um, a secluded life of frustration. So that is all for today. Thank you for watching this video till the end. We will continue till the next time. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances.